Hey, well, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Inside Sweet Tooth, where we, talk to some of the people who made Sweet Tooth possible. Today's episode is we're going to talk some more with Sabrina, our daughter, in our third space at 38th and Harvard. So, Sabrina, are you there?
Yeah. Are we starting?
Oh, I thought we would. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hang on one second.
Okay. Okay, so we'll wait here for you. Have some technical difficulties. And, oh, hey, thanks. Yes. And so we'll wait for Sabrina to get back as Mooney's looking for Sabrina.
Hello.
Hey, all right.
Hey, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
Mooney needs a little bit of time.
Right. Little distracted. We're good. I'm ready. Let's go. Okay. What are we talking about?
We're talking about our third location.
Oh, yeah.
38th and Harvard. We were there for several years. So I'm just wondering, I don't know how much you remember that because you were in school for a while and different places around the country. Do you have any, burning memories of that first, of that third location?
You know what I do remember?
Yeah.
Is that I feel like that location is the one where we started, like we were serious about business and about growing the number of people coming to the store, things like that. Mm-hmm. And one of the ways we did that was we did events. And we did, that was where our first holiday party happened. Mm-hmm. And we did that every year. We also did trunk shows for all of our various jewelry lines, things like chameleon and troll beads and all of those. And we also did those other events that usually were more kid related and would be for things like when the Cinderella movie came out, or I think we did a dinosaur one. Mm-hmm. And I think there was also, the Peanuts movie, when that came out, that one was pretty popular too. And we would have like games and face painting and all kinds of stuff for people to do during those. Those were always chaotic, but a lot of fun.
They were fun. The people really enjoyed those. I think the kids came and we gave them little favors and things like that. And they had a pretty good attendance. Little things like that. I think that was when we first brought in Santa. It was at that location. Also,
definitely
towards the end of it. And we have our Santa Bob is the best, we think. And he was always very good and took time, talked to all the kids, even posed for staff photos. So that was kind of fun. I don't know if you mentioned it, our holiday parties and things. I mean, those were one of our employees suggested we do something like that. And again, it went over well. We offered some specials and people would come and have hors d'oeuvres and things and sample our wares kind of after we had closed down, and it was good.
I remember most of the time for the holiday party, I would be at one of the registers, and there were many years where I literally just stood at the register and rang people up, put their stuff in bags, all of that stuff for just 3 or 4 hours straight, because there were so many people and they were just, it was always really good sale. So that was super incentivizing for people to buy lots of things and get all that holiday shopping done early. But yeah, I would look up and there would just be this, line of people waiting to check out, and people would bring me drinks, water, and like other refreshments because I couldn't leave my station. It was just so chaotic that I couldn't really take a break. So those were long days, but it was always a lot of fun, of course, because everybody came in. There was lots of joking and laughing and eating and drinking and just a lot of fun. So,
and the most eclectic Christmas / Hanukkah music in town right at our store, because we went for went for the offbeat and the different things people hadn't heard of. Everyone's heard of everything else. So we had some interesting music, I think.
Definitely.
So that was kind of fun. We kind of got heavy into our commercials then also, much ramped them up much more. And we had a very professional group that helped us out, Lauer Photography. And I think people were looked forward to them, seeing them, and kind of responded very well.
Yeah, we definitely got really creative with some of them. I was not there for all but one of the actual filming of the commercials. I was only present for the Mad Men one, which was the final one. But I was voluntold to participate in the commercials via doing the voiceovers. So some of the voiceovers I recorded here in Tulsa because I was still living here. But there were several years, as you pointed out, that I didn't live here. I spent a few years in New Jersey, and I was also in Memphis, Tennessee. And I actually had to record commercials in those locations. Fortunately, I was working for theater companies, so there was recording equipment available and free labor to record it for me. And then we would burn it onto a CD, little disc, and mail it back to you guys. Or actually, you guys were there for one of them.
One of them, we were there, yeah.
Yeah. And then the others I just did sort of by myself. And then we would just send you the disc with various recordings, various versions of it. And then you guys would just pick the one that you liked the best. But I did all of the commercials except for one.
Except one.
Yes. Because apparently if you do a Casablanca theme, you have to have a male voiceover. So I was not allowed to record that one.
But hey, we had to get a big time star to come in, Carl Kraus, who plays Scrooge every year at ATC. So, it's took a lot to replace you for that 30 seconds.
It's true. Carl had really big shoes to fill. So, and I think he did okay. I think it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought he was a good replacement. When you can't get the best, you get the second best. So,
yes.
So the and I don't know if you remember, but we'd always talk a little bit beforehand, and we had a particular style that we liked, and basically it's summed up in one word: cheesy. And so I would tell you, cheese. Think of cheese, and that was what kind of pulled us through and made our mark on the commercial world.
Yeah, I think other than the Mad Men one, the last one, which I that was a great experience because I got to be there for the whole thing. I think my favorite voiceover was probably the Superman themed one because we were recording that at about 8 o'clock in the morning because I had to go to work. It was like during the week. So, we had to get that done first thing. And I don't know about you or any people watching, but I'm not a morning person and I'm not super awake. And my voice is usually a little bit froggy in the morning. It hasn't been used a whole lot. So on that morning, I was driving to the recording studio. I was meeting you there. And I was driving to the recording studio and just talking to myself in the car in the hopes that by the time I got there, my voice would sound somewhat normal. We decided that the style for that one was like the Superman, like the television show, the sort of idea of that like fast talking radio voice, spitting news headlines, things like that. So we get there, I go into the recording studio and, they say, okay, go ahead and just, we'll do the first one, see how it goes, tweak from there. And you and Diane were in the other room with the guy who was actually running the board. And I did the first one. And at least from what you've told me, because I couldn't hear you guys, but from what you told me, I did the first one, I finished it, and you and Diane looked at each other and were like, well, I mean, that's pretty good. Maybe just a second time, just in case something better comes out the second time. So I think I literally only did 2 versions that morning. And then you guys were like, okay, I think we're done. I mean, we were in and out in like less than 10 minutes. I think it took longer to actually like get set up and sit down and, put on the headphones and check the microphone levels and things like that than it did to actually record the voiceover. Yeah. So I don't know. I was a genius apparently that morning.
Hey, if you got it, you got it, right?
That's right.
They were very smooth. Yes, they were good. I wanted to go off just on we're kind of running out of time here. We're getting close to our 10-minute mark, but I was thinking there was some other stories. We might have to do another one after this one, just as an episode 2 of the 3rd location. But we had a lot of different, employee stories, and maybe we'll save those for this. And we had all kinds of things going on over there, like our sign fell down one time. Luckily, no one was hurt or anything, but it landed on a couple cars, just kind of slid down very slowly, very gracefully. And we had some other, what was I going to say? That's when we started our big trunk shows we started doing in advance. And like you had said, we were kind of acting like older adults, and actually having a plan and doing some of these other things,
Yeah, I think one of the side effects of, we moved to that location for a couple different reasons. One of the big reasons was it was a location that faced a main road.
Right.
We were right there on Harvard, which of course we hoped was going to bring in more people and make us more visible, because our locations in the farm were inside the farm. Like you had to know we were there. You had to perchance drive by as you were going to someplace else in the farm. So, but this way, all these people passing us on Harvard. But unfortunately, that brought along all kinds of other things that happen when you are in that kind of situation. One, parking. There was never enough parking particularly in the busy months, for, when we would do the holiday party in particular, people had to get very creative with parking solutions. And then there would be like things like accidents that would happen on Harvard because it's a main road and that happens. And you'd be in the store and all of a sudden you'd hear some terrible crashing noise. And you go look out the front window, and unfortunately someone had run into someone making a left turn or whatever. So we frequently ended up being witnesses for the police when they would come by for accidents. They'd come to the store and be like, "Did you see anything? Do you know what happened?" So we had all kinds of excitement there being on Harvard. And most of the time we were there, we had really great neighbors too, which was super great. We were all kind of able to like work with each other to, sort of share business in a manner of speaking. So for the longest time, there was a pharmacy next door. the medicine shop. For all of you who have been living in Tulsa more than 5 years, you might remember the medicine shop. And that was probably by far one of our favorite neighbors.
Yeah, that was good. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, like anytime you had a question about, I have a cold, or, you know, my elbow hurts, what should I do? You know, I think I pulled a muscle in my back. You would go in and you would ask Dave, right? That was his name, Dave, the pharmacist. And he was always glad to help. And he was just right next door. So it was really kind of the best thing ever. If you had an issue, just walk out the door, down the sidewalk. It was great.
It was very convenient. That's true. Hey, well, thank you for visiting with us. And I think you've seen, maybe you're a little closer this time than the last time, but thank you. And maybe we can come up with another one to do in a bit about some hilarious employee stories.
Oh yes, I'm sure we have quite a few of those that we could share. Names will be changed or redacted to protect the innocent.
Yes, indeed.
So,
yeah, we'll have huge lines with black marker over them. Okay, well, thank you, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Sounds good.
Okay, bye-bye.